Today I'm taking a look at Behind Blue Eyes, the classic from The Who, from the incredible Who's next album. And I got a question the other day. Somebody said, hey, I've been checking out your cross-picking lessons. Is there a particular song or songs that you might suggest learning? And there are several songs actually, but this one really came to mind because Pete really mixes things up, okay? That whole intro and verse section is based, right up till he starts strumming, is based on the cross-picking technique. And he does a lot of variations, which makes it really intricate and kind of challenging to play. But the chords themselves are pretty easy. We have an E suspended 4. Then we have a standard G, however you choose to play it, D. And then we've got a C add 9. But Pete doesn't play the major third. He leaves the D string open. And you can really hear that on the recording. And then finally, an A sus2, okay? So let's talk about that first chord, the E suspended 4, and the very long arpeggiated cross-picked pattern that he plays. Right into the E minor, okay? So you can see on the tab exactly what's being played, but what we want to talk about is how to pick it, how to cross pick it, right? So the first thing we have is 3 downstrokes, and then attack the G string with an upstroke. Now, he does follow that with the D string with a downstroke, but it's so quiet that you can barely hear it, and you can see that I've marked that on the tab for you. But he does play it, but it's so quiet that it sounds like he's leaving a space. But he actually isn't, okay? It just sounds like it. But it affects the overall cross-picking pattern because, as I said, you want to attack that G string with an upstroke and then come back and faintly hit that D string with a downstroke. And what happened there was from the B string, up, up, down. B, G, D. And then swing all the way down to the first E string. And that was up, 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 down. Then we're going to come back to the B string. This is maybe the oddest part of this pattern. B string up, G string down, B string up again. No kidding. And then what you do is approach the D string. So there's an actual string skip in there. He plays. So that's up, down, swinging up to the D string, okay? So now we have and then he plays this pattern. And that's a pattern that I've spoken about quite a bit in my cross-picking lessons. So what he's doing is he's just spreading the pattern out across different strings. So what we have is down, 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 up, 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 down, up. That's the pattern. Then he repeats the pattern but swings all the way to the first E string. Same picking though, down, 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 up, 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 down, up. So those two together sound like. So that's quite a nice intro just on one chord. And then we are into the verse. So we have an E minor chord, and this is a different picking pattern. He goes down 3 from the 6th string, of course, swing all the way to the first E string, and come up 4 upstrokes, all the way to the D string. And then on the recording the first time around, you hear him kind of slip into that F sharp note. So he plays as he walks to the G chord. And I don't know if he does it another time in the song, but you can hear that out the gate. It sounds pretty sweet. And you'll approach that with a downstroke, whichever finger you choose, and then you make your way to the G chord. So we have down, 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 up, 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 down. And we make our way to the G chord, and the pattern is similar. And what I mean by that is he plays 3 downstrokes, and then, but he only comes up 3 strings. So it's down, 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 up, up, up. And then he plays the 6th string with a downstroke, and then the A string with an upstroke. And it's hard not to clip that note right there as you make your way to the B chord. I think I might have even clipped it a bit on the performance, but oh well, you know. So anyway, what we have so far is and that is what you'll hear on the recording. Down, 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 up, 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 down, up. It sounds very complicated, I know, but it's just that it's such a, it has so much variation in it. So there you go, right? So now we have, and we make our way to the D chord. Again, a different pattern, another variation. So for the D chord, we have down, 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 up, 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 down, up, down. That's the best way to approach that one because he adds his pinky to the first string at the 3rd fret, of course, for a D suspended chord. And he'll go up, up, down, up, 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 as he lets his pinky up, down, up, 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 up. I like where he puts that note. It sounds really nice. And then we move to that C add 9 chord, and he plays this. As he makes his way to the A sus2. So for that we have down, 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 up, 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 down, up. That's the first pattern on the chord. Down, 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 up, 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 down, up. Now he's going to repeat that, but he skips the D string and places the cross-picked pattern between the A string and the G string. But it's still the same pattern. And then we move to the A suspended 2nd. And again we have that pattern. Down, 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 up, 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 down, up. So that's a lot of variation, right, for just those few chords. But here it is, nice and slow. Very nice. And the second time he plays it, it's got a couple of variations in it, okay? And you'll probably find subtle variations throughout it as it progresses anyway, right? It's not sort of like he's got it perfectly worked out. He's just going for it. He's got a great right hand, as we all know, and he's just going for it. But the second go-around is worth mentioning because it starts out basically the same, but he doesn't play that F sharp note. Instead, he plays. So what he does is he just walks through the rest of the E minor chord. Down, 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 up, 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 up. All the way up to the A string, okay? So he's just putting it in the place of that F sharp note. So instead of, it's, and you'll want to do those with upstrokes so you can attack that G chord with a downstroke. So we have down, 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 up, 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 up. Then you move to the G chord, and that's exactly the same as it was played before. Now, the biggest variation happens on the D chord where Pete plays this. And again, it's that D suspended, adding the pinky to the 3rd fret on the E string. And he puts that in that really cool little spot right there. I really like it. So the picking pattern on that then is this. Down, 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 up, 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 down, up. Then do the hammer-on with an upstroke, and you're going to play up, up, down, just like you did before. So very slowly we have... follow it with up, 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 down, up. So the whole pattern then is... And then you move to the C add 9 just as you played it before. And that is the whole intro. To the strumming, okay? And for this section of the song, we'll have a C major, and I like to play it with the G and the bass up top. It's nice and full, to a D, and then we're going to play a G like this. So I'm just using my 3rd finger on the 3rd fret on the 6th string, my pinky, 3rd fret on the 1st string, and the A string is just kind of muted out, because what Pete does is he adds this to it to create a sort of G sus sound. We'll talk about the strumming and where that lands, okay? Then we come back to C, D, and then we land an E chord. And that particular chord right there is barred at the 2nd fret on the G string and the D string. It's just an inverted A chord with the C sharp on the top, and that is the C sharp right there, the 4th fret on the 5th string. And he comes back to the E, okay? And then we're going to move to a B minor, back to C, back to D, once again adding that D sus, parking it on the A2, okay? So the strumming is very loose, but it's also very consistent, and I kind of play it with just a down, down, up, down, and then keep strumming, right, those ghost notes in between. Go to D, go to that G I was talking about, and that's where we have that motion right there. So for that particular chord, I'm playing down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, and that's where the fingers go on. So once again, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. So from that upstroke, up, down, and release it. The best way to do that one is just super slow. So we have went back to the C chord and the D chord, of course, just as before, and then some action happens on that E chord. So I'm playing down, down, up, and then catching that with an upstroke. So it's kind of a ghost downstroke in between. So it's kind of up, ghost note, then up and down. I hope that makes sense, nice and slow. And then we move to B minor. And I kind of play a down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down. It's a longer pattern, right? Down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down. C chord, same thing. D chord. And that's down, down, up, down, with that pinky. One more time on that one. Down, down, up, down, down. And then to the A suspended. But you can see I'm doing that quick down, up, down move inside that rhythm. Down, down, up, down, down, up, down. And then it's back for another verse. Into the rocking out section. And this is, of course, where the electric guitars kick in. There's some crunching chords a la classic Who and some lead fills, but I'm just going through the chords for you right here on the acoustic guitar. But there is a definite rhythm here, okay? So we've got an E major chord, and I like doing that with the downstrokes. I think it sounds really staccato that way. So I've got that mute in between, followed by two quick downstrokes. And then B minor, A. So we've got. Now on that A chord, you're going to extend the groove just a little bit, if you know what I mean by that. So it's. And that last upstroke, you're really changing back to the E chord on it. So nice and slow, it would be like this. Right? You play that twice, and then Daltrey starts singing. Now, once the vocal enters, we play this. And we repeat it. Another go around of the vocals takes place right there. So there's a few subtle differences there. We start off with the E, the B minor to the A, just as we played it before. But the second go around we play E, B minor, G, and D, and the D is drawn out. And that's kind of a nice strumming pattern. He keeps it really loose, and there's more than one guitar going on, but maybe down, 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 up, down like we were doing earlier. So once again, that second go around. Then we play B minor, A, and D, and again, the D is drawn out. So we have so you can see after that second D it was B minor to A again, and then we go back to, and I think they just do that one time and then Daltrey starts singing again. So that whole fired up part would be played like this. And then it's back to the verse again, okay? So there's a lot of strumming going on there. So that's how that section goes, but then he's got that tag on it, right? So that's a B major chord, second fret on the A string, ring finger bars, the D, the G, and the B string. All right, we'll talk about what he's actually doing in the right hand. But for now, you can just do a quick down, up, down, but I'll talk about the even more intense pattern that he plays. And that's followed by an A, a G, and two Ds. And downstrokes are the best way to go. Use a lot of muting in between very quickly to make it as staccato as possible. On that fourth time you just kind of build it, right? Now what's happening in his right hand is actually more intense than that. Instead of just, he's going very quickly. Down, up, down, up. So that can be pretty tricky to play, right? So if it's a bit too fast or a bit too much, just do the quick down, up, down. Not a huge difference, but it is pretty exciting. Right? Classic Pete. So what you'll hear on that last one where he hits the B chord, there's the acoustic guitar is still going underneath, and you can hear just before they go back to the last verse. So what he does, he's on the B chord, and then he opens up the A string. So from the A string, it's down, down, down. B string, up, 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 down, up. And that walks him right back to the verse. So you can play that last one any way you want. He does that little hammer on in there. He might even do it in a slightly different place for all I know. But he does end it, they do end it with the A sus chord 3 times. Behind Blue Eyes. There you go. From the classic Who's Next album. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll see everybody again real soon.